chats, and you know, you're talking about being concerned for her, and you're asking her, will you suck me? And I want you to taste me. Did you say that?
So, regardless of what goes on, I'm going to jail right now?
A doctor's sole purpose is to save and treat human lives, but sadly, that's not always the case. Here are 6 times evil doctors realized they've been caught. Starting with 48-year-old Dr. Maurice Molan, who is a suspected predator. It takes a lifetime to build a reputation, but only seconds to destroy it. This was true in the case of Maurice, a prominent doctor and a cancer researcher. In August 2006, Maurice ended up sabotaging his life and career in the process of trying to get together with a 12-year-old girl he had met through an online chat room. Maurice and the girl would soon arrange a meetup at the girl's house. Little did he know that the person he was going to meet was a decoy from an NBC television show to catch a predator.
That could be the doctor. Go to Mark 3. Have him come towards you.
Hey, you made it. Come on back.
Thanks. How are you?
Good, how are you?
The girl then invites him over to the hot tub in her backyard after asking Morris to pour the drinks.
Pour me a drink. I'm actually gonna put on my suit so maybe we can get in the hot tub because it's all warm.
Oh, jeez.
So where are you coming from?
San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, so there probably was a lot of traffic, huh?
Do you have a towel?
Maurice, however, soon caught on to the act while snooping around looking for a towel for the drink he knocked over. He discovered the hidden cameras along with the filming crew.
I gotta take off. Sir? Yeah. I need to talk to you for a minute.
Unfortunately for him, the police were right around the corner and were able to catch him before he could make a run for it. It was at this moment Maurice realized he'd been caught and broke down while being arrested.
Yes! Get on the ground! On the ground!
I wasn't gonna do it!
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Get his keys. I wasn't doing anything. Oh man, I wasn't doing anything. Get his keys. I wasn't doing anything. Am I being booked for? We'll explain all that too. Can I call my wife?
You can do that after the booking procedure.
I think it's
going to talk to a detective and just...
Yeah, I explained that to him already. He's just not, he's failing to...
I'm not failing. I'm just really scared. Nothing to be scared about.
Nothing to be scared about?
No.
I'm somebody who has never done anything in my life besides a traffic ticket, and you wouldn't be scared?
You're in some trouble, obviously.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in big trouble, and I feel like I made maybe a mistake, but I didn't do anything. They're in handcuffs. I have pictures being taken of me left and right. I don't know what I'm being accused of.
Saying that he doesn't know what he's being accused of just goes to show the kind of person he actually is. Then, Maurice was brought into the trailer for questioning. His interrogation is unlike any other I've ever seen. After reading Maurice his Miranda rights, the detective wasted no time and asked Maurice about his online persona.
Or screen name do you use?
I really need to have an attorney present.
Okay. Okay.
Can you tell me what's going to happen?
What's going to happen? You're being charged with, I believe, attempt lewd acts with a child under the age of 14 and burglary.
Burglary?
Yes. Okay.
Stealing what?
By entering the dwelling that you did. Okay. So at that point, I'm going to bring you back over to booking. You'll be transported to the Sonoma County Sheriff's.
Am I going to jail?
Yeah.
Before the detective could get an answer out of him, Maurice decided to lawyer up and sat there in disbelief over his arrest. His guilt would soon overtake him, however, causing him to open up.
Steve, I've never done anything wrong in my life. Ever. You know my record.
Okay.
I've never had more than a traffic ticket.
Okay.
What happens when I get to the Sonoma County Jail?
They'll talk to you whether you can arrange bail or anything like that. Other than that, you'd probably be in jail until Tuesday for arraignment.
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
What did I steal?
Okay, that's what I told you. It's not about stealing.
What did I?
Okay.
What did I take?
Okay, let me just stop you for a second. You asked to talk to an attorney.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to discuss this further because I can't. Okay? Unless you want to waive your right to have an attorney present.
Can I call my wife?
You will be able to make a call later on.
I need to call her now.
Okay. I'm not going to base this on... You still want to have an attorney present.
I will answer what I can.
Okay.
Maurice then decides to talk to the detective, but chooses to answer only those questions that don't incriminate him. Regardless, this choice of continuing to talk to the detective without a lawyer present is what would make the situation worse for him.
I'm not going to play games
I'm
here.
not playing games. I'm scared out of my mind.
Right. And I understand that.
You saw my record. I've never done anything wrong in my life.
Okay.
And now I'm being charged with very serious offenses.
Okay. There's rules I have to go by. The fact that you've asked to speak to an attorney, okay, I have to visit that, and I have to respect your constitutional rights.
All right, let's talk.
Okay. So I just want to clear, you want to talk to me without the presence of an attorney.
But I'm also making clear that I'm not going to answer things that I think could damage me. Yes.
What screen name do you go by?
I use Tall Dreamy Dog.
Okay. Is that a Yahoo
Yes.
website? Okay.
Shockingly, Maurice would then try to pin the blame on the decoy victim by telling the detective that it was her who had been wanting to meet.
Why did you come to the house in Petaluma today?
I was curious.
Okay. Curious about what?
I chatted with someone online. She had asked to meet me on several occasions. I declined. And today again she asked. I had a little bit of time, not very much.
Okay.
Because I have to be home to pick my wife up. And so I thought I would come out and meet her, and nothing more.
Okay. And how old was the person you were chatting with?
Sure.
How old did she tell you? You don't know? You don't remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I know she was young, and I know that...
Under 18?
I'm not sure.
Okay. How old are you? 48? 48? Okay. Do you remember the person, the name of the person that you were coming to visit? Willow. The male, female? Female, okay.
Maurice claims to not remember any details regarding his chats with the girl, whom he calls Willow. His memory loss seems to be selective, however, as he answers the normal questions regarding himself or Willow, but not the gruesome details of their chats.
Me, /Doc, that's you. Okay, talking with Willow, Filipino.
No, I don't remember it being... She wanted me to come visit her,
Okay.
and I didn't want to come.
What name have you come over?
She was alone.
Okay. Do you know where her parents were?
I can't remember. She said her mother went away or something.
Okay. How about her father? Okay.
She begged me to come over. I mean, I don't know how you guys... If you read... When I told her I wouldn't come, she said she was begging me to come.
Okay. On 707, I'm 13, female. What's your ASL? And then you say, oh goodness, I'm 29, sorry. Is that accurate?
I don't remember.
But would that be accurate that you...
I don't remember.
I mean, does anybody else use your computer?
I don't know. I don't remember those words. I don't remember her
Okay.
age.
But obviously you knew she was under the age of 18, so
I
knew that
knew
somehow.
she was young.
Okay. Did you ask her if she dated older guys?
I don't remember.
Did you talk to her about touching and kissing and making each other feel good?
I remember she saying that she had trouble finding somebody to make her feel good.
Okay.
I was playing with her.
And then you typed to her, I wouldn't stop until you came over and over. talk to her about kissing her chest?
If this wasn't enough madness already, at some point, Maurice had realized that what he was doing was a crime, but continued to chat with Willow regardless.
You said, Willow, I would like to, but I could get in trouble. Meaning, for her coming over. Okay, so that's accurate, you said that?
I don't remember.
Okay. And then you told her, no, I'm real, but you're under 18 and I'm over. We would have to be so careful.
I don't remember saying that, but I told her that she needed to. I was concerned about her. She needed to be careful.
Okay. Do you remember talking to her or asking her, do you like the French? Okay. Did you ever see a picture of her?
I think she has pictures.
Okay. So you commented about her body looking pretty hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember.
And then you asked her what bra size she wore. And she said 30B, but it's kind of big on me right now. I'm still growing.
I don't remember her saying that.
Okay. And saying that you will kiss them.
I don't remember. I remember saying for her to be careful, that she can get into trouble, and she shouldn't be doing this.
Okay.
And that's why I didn't come. And the only reason I came today, I was curious, but I wasn't going to do anything. I had no intention of doing anything.
Saying that there was no intention of doing anything is an absolute lie, and we all know that. Then, when the detective confronts Maurice, there's a drastic change in his demeanor, from calm to agitated, as he realizes there's no way out of this.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you're talking about that you want her to take your pants off. You talk about, what will you wear? I don't know, whatever's clean, something sexy. And you said, will you take it off for me? And then you ask her that you want her to take her pants off also. Now you can take mine off if you want. So how do you want to do it?
I wasn't going to do anything.
Okay, but you're here. You're telling me you're concerned for her welfare.
But you read on, and I was playing with her. That was not appropriate. But then when you read on, I say over and over again that she shouldn't be doing this. I can't come see you. She begs me to come. Officer Nelson, I shouldn't have talked to her. You're right. I wasn't going to do anything.
Have you ever done this before?
No.
Never?
Never met a 13-year-old?
On the internet, yeah.
No.
No. I mean, you told her you were a doctor.
Mr. Nelson, you have to believe me. I would never have done anything to her.
Okay, Maurice, I'm just reading your chats, and you're talking about being concerned for her, and you're asking her, will you suck me? And I want you to taste me. Did you say that?
I don't remember.
Okay,
I don't remember, but I never would have done anything to her.
and then you show up. I mean, where do you live? In Piedmont? How long did it take you to get here?
40 minutes.
Where's your wife right now?
At a party.
So where does she think you're at work?
No, I told her I would go out for a while.
Morris says he's never done anything wrong in his life, but that just means he's never been caught doing anything wrong. The detective also doesn't buy into his words, especially considering that he has all the proof in his hands, and every time he asks him something, it is just to confirm it, whether by him saying it or by reading his body language.
Piedmont, to meet a 13-year-old, that nothing would have happened. And you expect me to believe that? After you talk about having different sexual acts with her?
It's the truth. She begged me to come. And I know that doesn't make it right, but I never did anything.
What may shock you even further is the unexpected gift that was later found in his car.
Wait.
Just 5'7", weighs 130.
Okay. So you didn't bring any of that lingerie for
Absolutely not.
Willow?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
It There was really. I didn't even know there was.
Yeah,
what was there?
This is in the back seat.
What was it?
The lingerie.
No. I don't believe it.
Okay.
We don't carry lingerie in our car.
Okay.
You sure it's not kids' clothing?
It's not kids' clothing. Okay. Did you send her any pictures?
No.
Not long after this, Maurice eventually stopped the interrogation, asking for an attorney, and was able to call his wife to give her the shocking news of his arrest.
I'm in big trouble. I'll explain. You have to bail me out of the Sonoma County Jail. $30,000 check we'll need. It was a sting operation. I'll explain it to you when you're here. Don't bring the girls. I didn't do anything, but I did something stupid.
Maurice ended up paying the price for his actions, and his case dragged on for 2 years. He was finally sentenced to 2 months in jail, 3 years of probation, and a lifetime registration as a registered sex offender. His license to practice medicine was permanently revoked after his conviction. After years of social stigma from losing his reputation, family, and finances, Maurice ended up leaving this world by his own hand on January 6, 2021, many years after the fact. But if you thought things couldn't get any worse, that's because you don't know the case of Elizabeth Wettlaufer.
And I didn't really want her to die. I don't know, I was just angry and had this sense inside me that she may be a person that God wanted back with him.
And is that feeling you're referring to that you had in your stomach?
Yes.
On September 16, 2016, Elizabeth Wettlaufer, a registered nurse who's known to have worked in both public facilities and private homes, was brought in for questioning after a series of deaths of elderly patients in her care. What followed is one of the most strange and disturbing cases I've ever seen.
And I met a woman online, and she decided to move to be with me.
Okay.
So I ended up quitting the job I was at and going to correctional care to make a little bit more money because I was the only regular earner. So I started working at correctional care, I believe it was June 2007.
And how long did you work there for?
Until 2014. Yeah, till I think it was March 2014.
And were you always in the same role, or
As
did you do different roles at Carson Care?
I was a registered nurse.
Yep.
And registered nurse's role is always the same.
Yep.
The healthcare worker was suspected to have taken 8 lives and allegedly attempted to take the lives of 6 others. What strikes this interrogation odd, which you may find intriguing, is that Elizabeth came down here of her own free will. Unlike other suspects, Elizabeth is cheerful and ready to make a confession. While diving into her work history, Elizabeth chose to leave out the negative details about her addiction issues, such as she was once found drunk in a basement during a night shift, and another time she had made a medication error while high, which nearly resulted in the death of a patient. She also failed to mention her record for stealing medication.
You've had a few other...
Yeah, I went from correctional care, fired from correctional care.
Okay.
For a medication error.
Yeah.
Then from there I went to Meadow Park Nursing Home.
Okay.
And left there to get help with an addiction issue.
Okay.
Hoping that it would get help with that as well. And then when I came back, I started working again in January. I left Meadow Park in September of 2014.
When Detective Hergott asks Elizabeth about her drug addiction, she straightforwardly confesses.
Back at Meadow Park, what was your addiction?
Hydromorph.
Okay. All right.
Hydromorph.
Okay. And how much were you using?
I used what I could get a hold of.
Okay.
By stealing it from the patient.
Okay. All right. And how would that work? Would it just be in their allotted medications, or would you have access to a card to feed your addiction?
There's some of their allotted medications. Some of them had confusion, so they couldn't tell the difference between what pills you were giving them, so I just give them a laxative instead of their hydromorph.
Okay.
There was a lot of them had as needed, so it would be in a big card, and then they'd say, I would just punch out that, oh, Barney needed 2 of those today, and oh, Billy needed 3 of those today when they really didn't.
Okay.
And that's how I would get a hold of it. Every once in a while, there was also a big drug holder, like a safe almost, that we would put the drugs in.
Okay.
Once like if somebody died,
Yep.
and there were like 23 hydromarks left, would slide the whole card into the drug holder. Well, if you picked it up and turned it upside down and shook it, you'd get drugs back out of it.
So you had your ways.
Yes.
Okay. And was that ever an issue?
I'm going to stop using alcohol as well. I have friends in AA, and I've got a very clear plan. Even if I'm able to be out and about,
Right.
I have a very clear plan. And I also know if I'm not able to be out and about, that AA and Narcotics Anonymous do have some programs where they come into prison.
Absolutely.
Seeing this, you could consider that Elizabeth may think there's a small possibility that she will remain free, which would only be possible if she pleads for diminished capacity or temporary insanity. Unfortunately for her, things will not go the way she thinks. Elizabeth's next statements are spine-chilling, as they give a fair idea of her thought process before and after the murders.
When my ex and I broke up in 2007, I was already taking the medication for my borderline personality disorder. And I was so angry. And it was like a voice said inside me, I'll use you, don't worry about it. And the different times that I have caused people's deaths or caused them discomfort through the insulin, I believe it was the influence of that voice or whatever it was. It wasn't a voice in my head, it was a voice in here. And when I would do it afterwards, I would hear like a laughter in my chest. So, started working for St. Elizabeth, 2 weeks pretending to go to work.
Okay.
Well, the visitors from Scotland were here.
Right.
It's funny, but it's not funny. And then, once they left, I decided I didn't want to nurse anymore. I didn't want to hurt anybody anymore. So I also quit my other job. And then I decided, whatever Friday that was, that like I did a lot of looking into how I could get help, because I realized I needed help with whatever this was. Because part of me had started to believe that it was the devil, and part of me thought it might be God was the purpose through my life. And I know the doctor asked me those questions, and I didn't answer them because I was so ashamed.
Elizabeth's delusions are common with serial killers that fall under the category Angels of Mercy. They're known to believe that they're either saving people from a life of agony and granting them mercy by taking their lives, or serving the right judgment. It's clear Elizabeth is suffering from a mental illness, as she doesn't derive any pleasure from her killings, nor does she have a motive behind them. Despite that, she tells the detective that she's always been aware of her wrongdoings and the possible impact her confession may have on the families of the deceased.
Even about, like, do I give the names of the people that I killed? Because then here's 8 families that thought that their family member died peacefully and normally, and they didn't. And what's that going to do to those families? And even up to going to the hospital, I decided I was just going to give the first names. And my cousin said, listen, they know what years you worked there. If you don't tell them the exact names, they're going to go in there and go over every single file. And that's going to be even worse for the families there. So that she was the one to give me that advice, to give the names.
Elizabeth's victims were often the elderly, who would be the perfect targets for this crime, as they're often unable to recall details or advocate for themselves. Elizabeth's murder weapon was the drug insulin, which she overdosed her victims on, eventually killing them. Detective Hergott finally starts questioning about the sickening details of Elizabeth's victims, starting with her first murder, James Silcox.
Knowledge of James and your daily interactions during a shift with him?
I didn't see him every time. He wasn't always my patient. I just knew from what people had said that he would grab the nurses' breasts and butts anesthetics, and he would say horribly inappropriate things about his wife, that now he was there, you know, he was going to fuck all of she was going to fuck all of Woodstock, and just would say inappropriate things. And he did touch me inappropriately once.
And where was that?
On my
your body?
breast.
On your breast. Okay. And were you alone in the room at that point?
Yes.
Okay. Did he have a roommate at all? Did you have a room? You remember?
He was post-hip surgery and he had dementia.
Do you remember how old he was approximately?
No, I don't. I'm going to say 80s.
In his 80s?
Yeah.
Not a diabetic?
Not a diabetic.
And, sorry, you said he had dementia?
Yes.
Okay, which you've also noted here as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me about the night. Was this the first person that you did this to?
That I tried. Well, there were other people that had done it to who didn't die.
Prior to James?
Prior to James.
Okay, and are they documented on here?
He's the first one who died.
Right.
Back here?
But there's some other...
People who didn't die.
Right, so I can't read that first name.
Clotilde Adriana.
Okay, so that was, I mean, they're both September 2007, but that was
Yeah.
before James?
Yeah.
Okay. So was this your first attempt at overdosing these people on insulin?
Yes, Clotilde was.
Just Clotilde.
And I didn't really want her to die. I don't know, I was just angry and had this sense inside me that she may be a person that God wanted back with him.
And is that feeling you're referring to that you had in your stomach at times?
Yeah.
Okay, is that the point, and I hate to get off topic here, but the point where you had these feelings in your stomach and almost that laughter after it happened,
Yeah.
is that the part that you didn't tell Dr. Khan?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to be clear on that.
I told him about the laughter in my stomach, but not the feeling that this may be the person that God wants.
Okay.
Because I just sounded so stupid.
It's your feelings, right?
Mm-hmm. I honestly felt like God wanted to use me. And Dr. Khan kept asking me, do you think God chose me for a special purpose? I kept saying no, because that did not sound like a special purpose, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just had a sense after my marriage broke up that God was going to use me for something. And then after a while I started to really wonder after some of the murders if it was God or if it was the devil fooling me.
Did you feel like you were doing the right thing for these people?
No. No. I felt like I was doing what I was supposed to do, but it wasn't what was right for them.
It is important to note that the facility should have been keeping a record of some sort of all the medication and doses given to the patients in their care. Had there been a track of it all, this sort of crime may have been prevented, and Elizabeth would have been stopped long before she got the chance to commit those other murders. Elizabeth then justifies her crimes by describing her victims as not nice people, showing how she thinks it was right of her to do what she did.
It's not very nice people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's a tendency or a pattern that we see as far as, is that why you chose these people?
Yeah, it might be, but I also know I just felt like they were the ones.
Right.
I had a feeling inside that they were the ones.
Before you injected insulin to Mr. Silcox, was it a spur of the moment thing? Had you thought about it when you reported for duty at 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
I started thinking about it about 6 at night, I think.
Detective Hergott then asks Elizabeth about her second victim, Maurice.
Maurice.
He was another one who liked to grab breasts and asses. He was sometimes a patient of mine. See, at that time, I didn't have a set floor that I worked on. I worked on all the different floors as a nurse, kind of filling in. So, one afternoon I was working with him and he did grab me. And again, I got that feeling inside that this is his time to go. So I gave him an overdose of insulin after supper. And I believe he died the next day.
And what was your shift that? Do you remember what shift
It
you were
was
working at?
3 to 11.
3 p.m.? And he was known for, it says here, grabbing the staff's breasts and asses.
Yes.
Okay.
With Maurice, Elizabeth may have gotten lucky enough to slip past any questions arising about her involvement in his death, as he died when Elizabeth wasn't on shift. But the next person on Elizabeth's list was Helen Matheson, and this time, it was very different.
Quiet, very determined, just seemed to be waiting to die. again, I had that feeling that, you know, this is the one. And I made a bit of a fuss about her that night because she was very lucid. And we talked about how much she liked blueberry pie and ice cream.
Okay.
So on my break, I went to Walmart. I got a small blueberry pie and some ice cream and brought it to her. And she ate 3 or 4 bites. And then that night I overdosed her. Because, like I said, I had that feeling that it was her time to go. And
What do you mean by that? Do you think she was towards the end of her life at that point?
I know that she was the person to go next.
And that was in your mind, in your stomach? Where was that feeling?
In my chest area. And after I did it, I got that laughter.
When would you feel that laughter? Would you feel it right after you injected it, or once the person passed away?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
And Helen was, you did hear that she wasn't a diabetic?
No.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, how much insulin would it take to kill someone
See, I
that
don't
wasn't a
know.
diabetic? Or
I don't know.
you don't know that?
No. So it was kind of hit and miss.
You didn't know that as a nurse, that this amount? Or?
No, there is no set amount.
Okay. And I'm just, I just
Yeah.
simply just don't know that
No,
answer.
there is
So
no
that's
set
fine.
amount.
Okay. All right. So different people would react differently to different amounts. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would it obviously make a difference if they were diabetic or not a diabetic?
Yeah.
Unlike the others, Helen hadn't done anything wrong, nor did she harass any medical workers, and the detective too has noticed this.
To harm you or?
No, she was very quiet. It was just, I got that feeling that she's next, it's her time to go.
Mary, Elizabeth's 4th victim, had told Elizabeth she had a feeling she was going to die. While this feeling may come and go in elderly patients, Elizabeth decided she was going to help Mary attain peace sooner and ended up taking her life. Elizabeth continued committing murders with the reason that she had a feeling God was making her do it. Other times, she would be prompted by the patient's words. In the beginning, Elizabeth had started out with small doses of insulin, and eventually, when she realized she could get away with it, she started increasing the doses to a dangerous amount, almost becoming ruthless in her killing methods.
Child molestation. Absolutely.
Did you feel that you might harm the children and yourself if you were to work with them?
I was afraid that I might get that feeling of wanting to give them insulin overdoses, especially since they were diabetic. And I panicked. And there was no way. I was absolutely not open to that.
Is there anything else that you can think of right now?
No?
No?
I think I did pretty good.
I think you did.
Elizabeth was sentenced to 8 concurrent life terms in prison, with no possibility of parole for 25 years. But people who are supposed to do good and instead do evil don't stop here. On February 3rd, 2021, officers rushed to the home daycare of 48-year-old Amanda Hickey after a 911 call regarding an unresponsive baby. What unfolds is one of the most shocking cases you'll see.
Hey guys, right here. Breathing? Still CPR? Yep. All right.
Down in the bed.
He was laying face down in the bed?
Yeah.
All right, clear.
Analyzing heart rhythm. Stay clear of patient. Analyzing heart. No shock advised.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Be sure emergency medical service.
Is this y'all's child?
Officers identified the Lil-Ayo, daycare's owner, while performing emergency CPR on the 4-month-old, identified as Charlie Cronmiller. The police asked Amanda to notify the parents immediately. According to Amanda, she had placed Charlie onto his stomach, despite being warned against it by his parents.
Dead on his back, but his parents say that he could roll over, but I had never seen it.
What time did you call 911?
I can show you. I was quite
Maggie.
fucking flipped out. So I
why would you be in the airplane?
dialed it, and then I think I just kept hitting it, and then I think this was them calling me back.
Show me how you placed him.
Sure.
And you do a picture and then show me how you found him.
Ready? Okay.
And there was another child in there, so you put him down and picked one up, right?
Did.
He was in there by himself.
He was, yes, yes.
Yes.
There was a switch.
Charlie's mother, Stephanie, then arrives on the scene and in a devastating moment sprints towards the ambulance.
Have her go in the ambulance with them. Scottish Rite, ma'am. Go in the ambulance right there. They're getting ready to go.
First responders transported Charlie to the hospital while officers investigated the scene to later discover that Amanda had left the baby unattended for 2 hours. Not only that, they also discover cameras around the daycare.
So I noticed you have cameras.
I do.
They record 24/7?
I believe so, yeah.
Or is it just motion?
That's a great question. I'm not positive.
Okay, that's okay. Will we be able to access those?
I think so.
And get the footage?
Like the families don't. It's not like something that I share with the families. It's a closed.
No, yeah, no, I understand.
Where's the mattress pad?
She said that was the mattress pad, but it looks like it's...
There's no pad in there.
I know. That's what I said. But she said that's what he was sleeping on. They're all like that, though. I didn't want to manipulate it, so I haven't touched it yet, but he was found face down in that corner. Top left corner. She put him back, and she said he must have rolled over, but they do have a camera in here.
I got it.
Right there.
Like it's not gonna, is he gonna capture that?
I don't know.
See that? The discoloration on the pad.
Yeah, that's it now.
And then the discoloration on the actual the brown.
Yeah.
It's just saying I've seen the whiskey.
Go ahead and get the child out. I'm just gonna keep looking through for a minute, if that's okay.
Amanda then breaks down as she realizes the seriousness of the situation and that she would now be confronted by the parents of the other children left in her care.
Tell them a baby had an emergency and...
I can escort you out when you drop the babies off. And if they have any questions, I can answer those questions for you.
We can do that for you to help
It's
you out.
going to be really hard for you to talk about. Really hard. Okay.
Baby had a medical emergency, so you didn't, nothing.
I just don't know. I don't know what. Yes, I'll just need an escort.
Okay.
Just give them. So you hear me give them the same message to everybody. I'm not sure what that message is yet, but I need to tell them all something. We had an emergency. What do I tell them? We had an emergency here today, and I'm gonna be closed to am I closed? I don't.
I mean, as of right now, this is just I mean, it's all under investigation. We had to figure out kind of a few more things before we can classify it one way or the other. Okay. I don't see any signs of malicious intent here. We're not leaning towards that by no means. But I can't sit here and tell you that without a doubt.
No, you can't predict the future. I understand that. I just don't know what to tell them.
To tell them that, that you had an emergency, a child had to be rushed to the hospital, and leave it at that. Basically, you can't share any more
I don't
information
know
on that right there. So,
No, that's all you gotta tell them.
yep.
Just tell them
And if they have questions, our officers here will be glad to help out.
As an interesting point, she didn't start crying until she knew she had to face the parents. The fact that she wasn't even the slightest bit upset prior to that is unbelievable. Soon, officials get the update on baby Charlie's situation down at the hospital.
Do we have an update on the hospital yet?
Yeah. They've given him a bunch of rounds of epinephrine, but
It's looking like it's...
yeah, there's no signs of life. They're talking to the parents.
Yeah.
I'll let y'all know here in a minute, but I expect here soon I'm gonna get the official word. Doctors with the parents, they've done about 6 rounds of epinephrine. Sorry. And it's not officially called yet, but they're talking with the parents. And it looks like there's no signs of life. So as soon as he gives me the final official word, I'll let you know.
Devastatingly, Charlie was later pronounced dead.
Medical examiner will do an examination on Charlie tomorrow to try to determine what happened, what the cause and manner of death is. That he may know that information tomorrow. That information may take weeks, depending on different tests that they have to run and things like that. So I can't guarantee you that that information will be available tomorrow, but once the case is completed, and that means once the medical examiner completes their examination, they get the findings, they have to write it up, Then I also have to turn in my investigative report, and the whole file has to be approved by a supervisor. So there's kind of a chain of events.
Sure.
But once that's complete, you can get a copy of the autopsy report if you would like it. I simply request.
I cannot imagine what it was like for the Cronmillers to drive home from the hospital without their baby. Amanda's daughter, Natalie, arrives on scene after receiving a text from her mother stating that it was a medical emergency.
Is she in trouble? Not right now, your mom. You can go talk to your mom. Feel free. Feel free.
What kind of medical emergency? You in trouble?
No, I'm not in trouble. No worries on your mom, okay?
I'm not going to jail recently.
Not long after, police leave the scene without Amanda. Days later, officers visit the home again, but this time they won't be going back empty-handed.
Face me with chains on your back, okay? You are being placed under arrest.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to talk to me? If so, we can go back to the police department and we can talk. If not, you're going to go straight to the cab jail.
Yes.
You do want to talk to me?
Yes.
Okay. So then we'll go back and we'll discuss it at the interview room, and then from there you'll be released to the jail, okay?
Can I tell anyone inside that that's where I'm going?
Who's in there?
My daughter?
Yeah, can you call her down to the door?
Sure.
What was her name?
Natalie.
Natalie? Miss Natalie? Can you come here for a moment, please?
Hold on right now.
Your mom's going to go with us, okay, to the headquarters for right now. She wants to talk to me, and then from there she'll be turned over to the DeKalb County Jail. Once she gets to the jail, she'll be able to make phone calls and call and let you know about bonding and things like that, but it's probably going to be a couple of days before she gets a bond, okay?
Okay.
So she wanted to let you know.
Before she is taken away, Amanda's husband asks officers what she's being arrested for, like he wasn't present on the day his wife caused the death of an infant.
What is she being arrested for? Felony murder and cruelty to children in the second degree.
The fact that Natalie didn't act surprised or even question why they were arresting her mom leads me to believe that she knew what happened. Body camera footage shows an officer speaking to Charlie's parents after the incident, informing them of what actually went on behind closed doors in Amanda's home.
Hey. So I'm just going to use this door as her door. Excuse me. So he was standing kind of like this, looking out the window there. So she comes up, and then Mr. Graham was standing next to him. So she walks up and opens the door, right? And his feet are hitting it, stopping the door for a moment. She does that 4 times, okay? Then you can tell that she gets annoyed by that, and that's when she grabs him, right? One arm on each, spins around, okay? And it's open here, so he doesn't hit anything. So when he spins around, she's not paying attention. She's still looking at the door, and then drops him. So when he hits the ground, his feet come up over his head, and he kind of rolls up, and his feet move over to the side. So that shows me a couple things. One, it wasn't just a gentle sit down, because his feet continued to move in the direction that his momentum was going, right? From that sling.
Refusing to speak to the authorities, Amanda was charged for second-degree murder, reckless conduct, and multiple counts of cruelty to children. She was ultimately sentenced to 30 years in prison, followed by 5 years of probation. We've seen Elizabeth who killed her patients, but she wasn't the only nurse to have done that, as that is exactly what happened in the unfortunate case of Redonda Vout. In March 2022, 38-year-old Redonda Vout was convicted of giving a 75-year-old patient a fatal dose of the wrong medication in error, and as a result, killing her.
This was a terrible, terrible mistake, and there have been consequences to the defendant.
Redonda faced a possible 6 years in prison for her mistake, but in a shocking twist, the victim's family asked the judge to show mercy.
We forgive her. My mother-in-law would want her to be forgiven, and jail time is not an option to me.
I mean, it's sad all the way around for everybody. I mean, not only my family, but hers also.
Hearing the family's words of compassion, Redonda wept and later apologized for her actions.
Saying I'm sorry doesn't seem like enough, but you deserve to hear that, and you deserve to know that I am very sorry.
Redonda Vout was ultimately sentenced to just 3 years of probation after the family of the victim asked for mercy. But it isn't always in hospitals that crimes occur, as it is the shocking case of Dr. Terry Hansen.
This is normal. I feel perfectly fine and safe to operate the vehicle. I may have let the speed get away from me on the freeway. I admit to that.
Made a bad decision there, bro.
On December 3rd, 2021, Dr. Terry Hansen was confronted by a New Mexico State police officer after going over 115 miles per hour in his Porsche. The officer was soon able to catch up to the driver and started his interrogation.
Hello. How you doing? Great. Yeah, I'm Officer Lil-Ayo, New Mexico State Police. You understand the reason why I'm stopping you?
Not really, actually.
I have no idea.
No.
Okay. Do you have insurance?
Of course.
Registration? What's up with the speed? On the interstate?
I wasn't really
paying attention?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you actually blew past me on the interstate at 116. It's a little ridiculous, don't you think?
I'm sorry.
And kind of dumb, to be honest with you.
I'm just going to get my insurance out.
Thank you.
As soon as the interaction started, the officer also noticed an odor of alcohol from the car and asked Terry to step out so he could question him further.
Why are you going so fast? Showing off?
Yes. Yes.
Reason for it.
There's no good reason.
Not a good reason at all.
There's no good reason.
Okay. I got you. But listen, there's families over here trying to celebrate, get ready, going to the light of the tree and all that, trying to get home. What if you hit them at 160 miles an hour? You know what I mean? Okay, I don't know who these people are inside your vehicle. You probably know them, right?
My girlfriend and her.
You probably care about them, right?
Yes, I do.
Just imagine hurting them seriously. You know what I mean? So what
I do. I know. I know. I mean, 116 is ridiculous. You're right.
It is. Jerry, how much have you had to drink tonight?
I had a beer at dinner.
Okay, just one beer?
Yeah, I mean, I had two beers and that's it.
2 beers?
But I'm not, yeah.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking is like small. I appreciate the honesty. But 2 beers, what kind of beers? Yeah.
I had dark beers.
Dark beers, and that was at dinner?
Yes, at Fogo de Chão.
After reprimanding him for his reckless actions, the officer then performs several field sobriety tests on Terry, the results of which are unsurprising.
You have any eye contacts?
No.
Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
You stand right here for me, please. Facing me. Put your feet together just like mine.
Mm-hmm.
Hands direct at your side. Feet together all the way together. All the way together. Hands direct at your side. You're going to need to remain in that position there. Do you understand? I'm going to have you stare at the tip of my right index finger with your eyes and do not move your head. Any questions?
No.
Completely understand my instructions? See my finger?
Yes, I do.
Follow my finger with your eyes and do not move your head. Do you understand?
So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn, facing back.
Remember you had to take 9 steps back?
Oh, 9 steps back, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And do you want me to turn? You're keeping the right foot on the. Which line do you want to say on the?
You're good. As long as you're done.
Okay.
59. Okay. Go and face me.
Okay.
Go and put your feet together just like, and you can begin, sir. Go ahead.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 1011, 1012, 1013, 1014, 1015, 1016, 1017, 1018, 1019, 1020, 1021, 1022, 22, 23, 1023, 1024, 1025.
After failing the tests, Terry was arrested for DUI.
Question, you feel like you should be driving right now, honestly?
I feel okay. I feel perfectly fine, sir.
Okay. Do you have kids?
Yes.
Okay, if you had a kid inside the vehicle right now, would you be willing to drive?
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I feel perfectly fine.
Okay.
I mean, this is normal. I feel perfectly fine and safe to operate the vehicle. You know, I may have let the speed get away from me on the freeway. I admit to that.
Made a bad decision there, bud.
But in terms of feeling safe to operate the vehicle and react, I do. And in fact, I'm really close to home. I live right over there.
My uniform, please.
Yeah, no.
Show it to the front door.
Okay.
Let's stay facing that way. Put your hands on your back, Terry. Okay. Do not move. Okay.
Then he's asked whether he would take a breathalyzer test or not, and he stupidly asks if he'll be going home if he passes the test.
If I refuse the test, I automatically lose my license.
So what it's saying is, if you refuse the test, you will lose your New Mexico driver's license for non-resident operating period for 1 year.
Automatically.
If you are convicted in court of driving,
if I'm convicted.
If you are convicted in court of driving while under the influence.
But if I refuse the test and I'm not convicted, I don't lose my license.
So that's ultimately, it's separated between two. There's an administrative side and there's also a criminal side. Okay? So the breath test, obviously, when you sign your driver's license, you get your driver's license, you say that you're going to submit the breath test. Okay, but this is saying that you are given the opportunity to decline it if you want, but you also have facing other penalties if you do decline. That makes sense.
If I pass the breath test, do I go home?
We're not talking about that. I'm asking for a breath test. It's either yes or no.
After trying to find a way to get out of the situation for a few minutes, Terry finally refused to take the breathalyzer test and was arrested.
I'm being arrested. I didn't take the test, and I'm being arrested for aggravated DWI because I did not take the breathalyzer test.
Can you have a seat, please? I have to make sure they get home safe, sir.
Officer, this is not necessary. This is. But I didn't fail. Officer.
You're right. You didn't fail.
What's going on?
Have a seat for me, please. Sit back all the way.
Also, what's going on?
Sit back all the way.
I just went to dinner with my friends.
If this wasn't enough already, Terry's girlfriend then stands up to the officer in support of her partner with a lack of respect towards the officer that's astounding.
I have can you get back over there for me?
I need to give him my phone number. So
have a seat over here. I'll give you a phone. Give you 2 seconds.
You're arresting him on no charges.
Okay, ma'am. Can you have us go back over here for me?
No, I will not.
Ma'am, you're gonna interfere. He's getting arrested for DWI.
Why?
Because I said, okay, go and have a seat over there.
I saw him
go back over there. I don't really care what you pay. Go back over there.
I do. I'll testify against you.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Walk over there, please. Can you walk away from me, please?
No.
Ma'am, you're about to get arrested as well for interfering. Okay, give me a second. We'll talk. Go back over there, please.
Talk to this guy. How about
Good.
that?
That's fine.
Surprisingly, as Sergeant Curtis Ward arrives on scene, the girlfriend has no change in her behavior towards him either, acting even more entitled.
I'm good. I would like to know what's going on.
That vehicle just got arrested, right?
Why? I saw him pass two DUI tests.
Okay, well, if he
passed and he
then
got
he wouldn't be in handcuffs, right?
I don't understand that. Saw him.
Well, this is a very experienced DWI officer.
Interesting, because he was a very experienced asshole to all of us.
Okay. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
He's deemed the driver too impaired to safely drive, and he's going to jail.
Okay.
So I guess now we got to figure out how we're going to get you guys home.
Yes, I need to give the driver my number so he can call me from jail.
You can give it
How
to
about
me,
that?
and I can give it to him.
How about I give it to that guy?
Well, I'm his boss, so you can give it to me.
Perfect.
And
I'll do
will
that.
happily give it to the driver.
Perfect.
What's the number?
575.
Hold on. 575.
You're writing it on your fucking hand?
Yes. Why does that matter?
I'd expect Albuquerque police to be a little bit more sophisticated than writing it on their fucking hand.
Okay. Well, I'm not Albuquerque police. I'm state police.
Either way, like, that's even worse.
That doesn't matter. I told you I'd give him the number.
Okay, Jesus, wow.
What's the number? 575. 4 7.
Deprivation was started.
Check it out.
Perfect. Thank you.
Auditors allocate.
Your hand is so sophisticated.
Down at the station, Terry was booked under aggravated DWI and speeding charges, but he keeps on acting innocent even after all this.
Man, this is ridiculous. You didn't have to do this, man. I'm sitting here sober. I'm fine. Like, this is, you know, if anything, I'm just nervous. This is horrible invasion of my privacy. If you had written me a speeding ticket, that's fair.
I guess you'd make the same argument if you would have just got yourself an Uber and didn't have to drove. We wouldn't be having this conversation either. So we'll just leave it at that, okay? You have your opinions, I have mine.
No, it's not an opinion. Like,
and I have my
if I had gone out partying and drinking and loading up, I went to we sat there and we ate. I probably ate 2 pounds of meat, like, and drank a couple beers. That's not the profile of someone who gets behind the wheel and hurts someone. That's a normal night out on a Friday. Okay. That's what every New Mexican does across the state. That's nothing.
And that's your personal opinion, sir?
It's not an opinion, it's a fact.
Okay.
It's an opinion from your standpoint because you've arrested me, and you know, if there wasn't this uncertainty, this would be completely and utterly, you know, I don't want to say it, but.
Just because no one got hurt this time doesn't mean someone couldn't. Would you want your family to be in the driveway with a man going at 115 miles? I surely wouldn't. Finally, Terry ended up pleading guilty in August 2022. I currently don't have information about his sentence, but if you thought these disturbing cases stop here, that's because you don't know the despicable case of Cara Rintala. Anna Marie, a paramedic, began her relationship with Cara Rintala, another paramedic she met while on the job, in 2002. Little did she know of the dreadful moments that are yet to begin in her relationship with Cara. The couple adopted their daughter, Brianna, in 2005, welcoming her to their new home. All was well in this happy family. That is until the contrasting behaviors of the two women started to clash, uprooting them from their happy lives and causing a change that could never be undone. On May 12, 2009, a 911 call was placed from the Rintala residence, seemingly dialed by their daughter, Brianna. The very same day, the Rintalas filed for divorce on the grounds of irretrievable divorce. 2 weeks later, a distraught Cara would place a 911 call, pleading with the dispatcher against Anna Marie.
I'm very upset because my spouse and I are going through divorce proceedings, and she's over my head with the fact that she'll do everything for me, she'll take my dog, she'll do this stuff. I feel like I'm walking to eggshells, and I feel like I'm walking to sleep. Are you alone right now? No, I just my daughter. I'm sorry, I'm not going to cry. Is she here now? She is, you know, yeah. She's waiting on me, but she won't cry. I'm sorry. I feel like, you know, I feel like I'm being you know, my world is very big, and I haven't had time to anything other than be upset about getting a divorce that we are, and that's okay. It's okay when we don't agree. And I get from home. And, I'm just begging you to call that I did not heard it. I'm very upset. We want to make sure that everything goes well. No, there's no physical progression by all means, you know. It's more emotional. You gotta go either way, you know. You go there, you gotta go. Okay, I don't want to, we're going there. Okay, but that's okay. You know, someone needs to be arrested. We can make a donation and everything. It's okay. I need help. I know. That's what we're going to go to you. Okay. Okay? All right. Okay, bye.
Shortly after the call, both Anna Marie and Cara visited the district court to obtain restraining orders against one another. Cara would again feel threatened by Anna Marie.
For the record, who is Cara Rintala? And you are Anna Marie Rintala? And is it my understanding that the two of you are married? And there is a child involved here, is that correct, Brianna?
Yes. Karen had to actually an altercation on the 12th, early morning of the 12th.
Listen to my question. This incident happened on the 12th. Why is it that it's 2 weeks later that we're now in court?
Sarah was served divorce papers this morning by the sheriff. She went ballistic. Brianna and I left the home. Upon our return, which is around 1 o'clock, she started screaming and yelling, "You're not taking my house, you're not taking Brianna."
That's fine. You've answered the question. The caravan tower, what is the basis of you seeking a restraining order? Go right ahead.
Today I reached all that I can take, and I'm afraid to be in my house because of what Ann's going to say, because I'm constantly threatened, verbally and bodily, as far as in my personal space, all the time. And I called the police department twice, and I had asked what to do about it. And today, if she's right, I mean, I filed 2 weeks ago, and I held it off, and then
You filed what 2 weeks ago?
I filed divorce 2 weeks ago.
You filed papers?
I did. It's a long story, but up until October, it's only been verbal. And she constantly threatens me that she's going to take away my job, my livelihood, my home, my daughter, and she's constantly threatening me.
All right.
So I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I want peace in the house. My family lives in Rhode Island. It's not. And I own the house. I pay the whole mortgage myself. I pay all the bills myself. And that's what I don't need. And Ann's family lives 1 town away. I said, is there any way you could just stay with your family for a little bit? Just because there's no volatility in front of Brianna, and that's all. I'm just nervous. I don't know what to do.
Well,
I'm
sorry? Very briefly.
I was nervous because I wanted a divorce.
No, I filed first, and sorry.
I wrote to Mom Kara's schedule. She's a big schedule, so when she has to work, I have to take days off. I'm really the primary caregiver for Brianna. I'm always in the home. I cook, I clean, I do everything for Kara. She made $80,000 last year. I made $20,000 because I'm a stay-at-home mom for Brianna.
All right.
Her confident she doesn't want me to have. I filed a divorce. She's very upset with me.
This is an issue that goes well beyond a simple restraining order. We can have criminal charges going back and forth against both of you, and the only one that's going to really affect in the long run is your daughter. I'm going to issue 2 restraining orders of no abuse. No abuse. The 2 of you can either deal with this as adults and deal with it in the probate court as your marriage dissolves, or I'll take, if you want, I'll call DCF right now. But right now, the 2 of you are going to walk a very fine line. You're either going to exist in that house until you get this straightened out, or you're going to look at criminal charges, one or both of you, and I promise you, if I see that come into this court, I will be on the phone to DCF so fast, they'll be here before you get out the door.
The judge rightfully made a decision and implored the 2 women to sort it out like adults, as he noticed their fights had been affecting their daughter. A month later, in June 2009, Anna Marie began secretly seeing her ex, Carla Danielle, but after wounding up thousands of dollars in credit card debt, Anna Marie would soon return to Kara and would even go on a cruise to mark their new beginning. But the couple soon found a new topic of argument: their friends, Mark and Mike. In the hours of March 28, 2010, Anna Marie would cover a late night shift, going back and forth on text messages as she was upset about Mark's visit to his friend, Kara. After the shift, Anna Mare would return home at 8 a.m. while Kara would punch in to work, only to drive back home at 11 a.m. At 3 p.m., Kara and Brianna would step out to run a few errands, leaving strange voice notes to Anna Marie.
I mean, you're mad. I'm like, why didn't you know I love this him? I mean, he's like one of the closest friends. But there's no reason to be mad when my gosh. He was getting along fine earlier. You know, but anyway, I love you, and I love you, and we are still together. We love you. Oh my gosh, she's good. I know I have to do it. And listen, it's me, Hannah. Come on, you're trying to make a story. Like, well, fuck, you know what I mean? fine, get mad with him, you at least text back or call back. Either way, well, remember we forgot to get stuff for your lunch tomorrow in school. So, yes, we're going home, but no, it's not the wrong place. I mixed the traffic shop, honey. And some crackers and cheese and crackers and, the chili and all this, or maybe that's bye, call us. Okay? Bye-bye. Hey, and I'm starting to really freaking worried I'm not worried, but actually part of me just irritated. It's like, I know that you're going to call when you get all upset, and I told you it's only money. My body's money, okay? And, I'm going to you. We're going to Burger King. We were probably come out of the mall, and of course she's hungry, and the person is about the ballot. There's a lot of ballots, no fun. The only thing that was that she answered, burger, like, oh, good job, honey. Are we on the same call? Please, please, please.
It can be surmised that Kara may have left these voice messages as an alibi for her location during the stipulated time of Anna Marie's death. Unsurprisingly, around 7 p.m., Kara and Brianna would return home only to find Anna Marie lying down the basement stairs in a broken way. Kara would react quickly, drop Brianna at their neighbor, Roy's home, shouting at him to call 911.
Hi, my neighbor just came over. She was pretty distraught when she come over here with the baby. She told me to call 911. She said the other one was down in the basement, but she didn't say much.
Maybe a domestic.
Officers arrived to find Kara holding the lifeless and seemingly cold body. As a paramedic with years of experience, she should know that if you think they may be alive, you don't move a person with potential spinal cord injury, or if you're sure they're dead, you don't disturb the crime scene. The police's suspicions grew further when Kara made an odd statement during her questioning.
Alright, so let's back up a bit. You have a history of domestic violence, Anna, right? Okay.
Trying to take care of everything, and I'm tired, I guess, working overtime and trying to make ends meet and pay for all of us, and that was probably, that's another source of connection. But we used to push each other, we did. We'd argue and it would get physical, absolutely. No angel, but I can honestly say it was definitely back and forth, you know what I mean? The same problems were there. I felt, and again, they couldn't say about me, or you want to talk bad about me, because I don't care about her, I love her, I don't want to talk bad about her, because it's freaking a lot of girls out for me, love her, and I don't want to talk bad. I feel like I'm betraying her. I feel like I'm betraying her by talking about her. Half stuff. And we agreed to feel together move on. Sure, we got half behind us. I feel like this is the worst thing I could do for her to talk bad. I do. Yeah. It's terrible. God. And not like that until I feel I get very anxious over it. You know what I mean? I don't like confrontation. I don't like the loudness. I don't like swearing. That's what she's kind of brought up around, so that's all she knows. It's not that she's that person, but that personality. And it eats at me, and I feel like I can't even get out of the way. I felt bullied. I did. And that's a mean word. I felt bullied. My house was reality, and I felt bullied. I did. I felt little, and somebody swearing at you, and all the swearing, it makes you feel really bad about yourself. And I felt like I just need to get away. I do. I need to get away. She walks right over you. And she kind of, she is, there's a part of her that's really hard. She is so charming, so thoughtful. What you want to do? I know she's tired. I just, I know.
There's pain all over her back. I'm not 4-year-old or older. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, no. I don't know. I don't think so. So, again, so then we go back to the question is, would someone hurt her? I can't see that. I mean, I can't see that. I mean, she gets in arguments all the time with people, all the time. She is a very thick-headed person, you know, she says what she means, what she feels, you know, and some people take offense. You know? What do you think, Ken? I want to say, like, if I had to guess, because she fell on the stairs, I guess. She got on the stupid shoes, you know, her shoes all the way down there. It actually didn't happen. We were talking about changing it this way. Constantly. But really doesn't make any sense though if she fell down the stairs that she would be where she is. You know, very patient for everything. You know, and everything that I've been asking me to do, I haven't had any support. You know, it's very hard. And it's starting to feel like I'm getting a finger pointed at me.
Kara would go from complaining about Anna Marie to feeling bad about her death, and back to complaining about her within a span of a few minutes. 4 days after the incident, on April 2nd, 2010, Anna Marie's death was ruled a homicide. District Attorney Elizabeth Schiebel made an announcement stating that Anna Marie had been strangled to death. Traffic cameras across the city would capture Kara and Brianna's movements across the city. Kara had made an unsuspecting stop where she would dump a garbage bag at the back of a McDonald's restaurant. The police later discovered the contents of the bag, bloody clothes. In October 2011, a year after Anna Marie's death, Kara's trials began. After 2 of her trials led to mistrials, Kara was finally sentenced to life in prison for first-degree murder of Anna Marie.
Is she not guilty? Guilty of murder in the first degree, guilty of murder in the second degree, or guilty of voluntary manslaughter?
She's guilty of murder in the first degree.
However, 5 years later, on September 27, 2021, Kara was released on a $50,000 bail. A Supreme Court judge had ruled that the witness testimony wasn't sufficient to rule her a killer, and for the 4th time, prosecutors would fight to put Kara away. After 10 days of a rigorous trial, Kara Rintala was once again found guilty of the murder of her ex-wife.
What say you, Madam Foreperson? Has the jury agreed upon its verdict in Hampshire County Indictment 1180 CR 0128, the Commonwealth versus Kara Rintala? We have. If you could please give your verdict slips to the court officer. What say you, Madam Foreperson, as to count 1 of Hampshire County Indictment charging the defendant, Kara Rintala, with murder? Is she not guilty, guilty of murder in the first degree, guilty of murder in the second degree, or guilty of voluntary manslaughter?
We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant guilty of voluntary manslaughter.
On October 19, 2023, the judge ended up sentencing Kara to 14 years in prison. If she maintains good behavior in prison, she may be eligible for release around 2029. Do you think Anna Marie got the justice she deserved? Comment your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this video, watch this one, and don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye.